Unvaccinated commuters in Metro Manila now have one less thing to worry about as the capital region shifts to a less strict alert level 2 today. The OCTA research group sees the worst being over in Luzon as COVID-19 infections subside. Still, the group is urging the government to be cautious in easing restrictions. And in sports, Chot Reyes is back as Gilas Pilipinas' head coach. The question now is, can he steer the national team to another World Cup appearance? Focused and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Sean Yao. Unvaccinated commuters can again ride PUVs with less stress starting today as Metro Manila reverts to alert level 2. Mon Gualvez with a report.
Commuters are now boarding buses and other PUVs to their destinations with fewer things to keep in mind. This is after the lifting of the no vaccination, no ride policy with Metro Manila back to alert level 2. Vaccination cards are no longer required to ride PUVs.
Dati po kasi chinecheck namin lahat, yung mga vaccine card, kung fully vaccinated na sila, ganun, kasi bawal po talaga eh.
Hindi na rin po masyadong abala sa biyahe, sir. Pagka yung iba kasi walang vaccine, sir, na ano pa kami, nadadami pa kami mga may vaccine, sir.
Under alert level 2, kids are also allowed to travel. In fact, in this mall in Mandaluyong, children are already taking a stroll around. Upon entering, vaccine cards are no longer being checked. Instead, mall goers just need to show their city's QR code for contact tracing. The Metro Manila Council have no objections with the IATF's decision to ease restrictions. But for the Interior Department, LGUs should still have a say on the restrictions, especially for the unvaccinated. In Pasay City, an ordinance barring unjobbed people from leaving their homes unless it's for work or other essential travel is in place. MMDA Chairman Benhur Abalos sees no problem with this.
Ever since, be it Delta, be it the Wuhan virus, be it the South African or the UK, tanungin natin sarili natin, saan nagsimula lahat ito? Di ba always NCR?
However, Abalos says he will still try to reason with the Pasay City LGU since they have been advised to follow alert level 2 restrictions set by the IATF. For News 5, Mon Gualvez, we are One News.
The OCTA research group says that the worst is over for Luzon as COVID-19 cases continue to decline. Professor Guido David said that COVID-19 infections in most parts of the country, including Metro Manila, are on a steady downtrend. David also said that this is the same in the Visayas, except for Negros Oriental.
Luzon, worst is over. Sa Visayas din, the worst part is over, except siguro sa Negros Oriental, pababa ng bilang kaso. Sa Davao City, I think the worst is over. Ganyan din sa Cagayan de Oro. May mga iba pang regions doon na mataas pa yung bilang na kaso, tumataas pa. Pero malapit na rin siguro mag-peak yan. Pero having said that, syempre, kahit na the worst part is over, kailangan pa rin patuloy na pag-iingat.
Professor David also sees nationwide cases dropping to 5,000 by late February. The group also expects Metro Manila to be at low risk for COVID-19 transmission in 1 to 2 weeks.
Pag-aaralan naman natin talaga yung mga numero pagdating ng katapusan ng Pebrero kung handa na sa alert level 1. Yung resurgence sa ngayon, Yusek, dahil nakita natin na yung BA2 Omicron subvariant andito na rin, kumalat na rin. So hindi ako ganun ka-concerned sa resurgence.
COMELEC Commissioner Rowena Guanzon retires tomorrow, February 2, with 2 other colleagues. Let's get some updates on how this will affect pending cases at the COMELEC First Division with Greg Gregorio, who joins us live from Mandaluyong City. Greg, still no decision out today from the COMELEC First Division on Bongbong Marcos's disqualification cases. And on top of that, we also have reports of Commissioner Marlon Casquejo being transferred to the COMELEC Second Division. Can you walk us through what these changes mean for these cases that are pending before the First Division?
Yes, Sean, tomorrow an en-banc session will be held where three officials of the Commission on Elections will be officially retiring. And as you've mentioned, this would be COMELEC Commissioner Rowena Guanzon, as well as Commissioner Antonio Co and Chairman Sharif Abbas himself. Now, their retirement would leave the COMELEC with only a three-member en-banc. According to Commissioner Guanzon, this would require changes on the membership of commissioners in the COMELEC two divisions. As an example, according to Guanzon, COMELEC Commissioner Marlon Casquejo, who is currently a member of the First Division, would then be transferred to COMELEC Second Division starting February 3. And according to Guanzon also, COMELEC Commissioner Socorro Inting, who is currently a member of the Second Division, will then be transferred to the First Division as the First Division's presiding commissioner. According to Guanzon also, this would affect the voting procedures, particularly on the cases or the three disqualification cases pending in the First Division versus Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Sean?
All right, Greg. So just to clarify, will this in any way affect the voting process of the COMELEC commissioners? Will Commissioner Casquejo's vote still be counted with the First Division, even if he is no longer with them and has moved on, for example, to the Second Division?
Sean, if the resolution or ponencia of Commissioner Jaime Ferolino will not be released tomorrow, and then the COMELEC Commissioner Marlon Casquejo will be transferred by February 3. Casquejo would no longer be able to cast his vote because, as earlier explained by COMELEC spokesperson James Jimenez, a decision for a certain case would only be voted by the member commissioners of a certain division handling the pending petition. So for the case of Casquejo, he will no longer be able to vote for the DQ cases against Bongbong Marcos, as he will be transferred to the Second Division. Sean?
Right, Greg. Let's dial it back a bit. Commissioner Guanzon said that Commissioner Casquejo was very much willing to write this decision on the disqualification cases of Bongbong Marcos, but this did not push through. Do we know why that is?
Yes, well, let's start with the fact that Commissioners Casquejo, Guanzon, and Ferolino are all members of the First Division. The ponencia, or the road to pen the resolution for the three DQ cases, was raffled to Commissioner Jaime Ferolino. But according to Guanzon, on January 24, she was supposed to transfer the ponencia to Commissioner Casquejo, but Casquejo had a condition that Ferolino must waive her ponencia. On January 24, Guanzon called for an executive session so that she would be able to transfer the ponencia to Casquejo. But however, Ferolino did not attend that executive session. Thus, the transfer of ponencia did not push through. Sean?
Right. Now, another big allegation has been thrown out there, Greg. This is Commissioner Guanzon, of course, alleging that Commissioner Jaime Ferolino is actually conspiring with someone, quote-unquote, big, in order to delay the release of the decision. Is Commissioner Guanzon considering filing any action against Commissioner Ferolino or taking any action against her?
Sean, with Commissioners Guanzon and Casquejo not being able to vote or to cast their vote in this the 3 DQ cases starting February 3, Guanzon thinks that this is clearly done by or deliberately done by Commissioner Amy Ferolino, and she thinks that Ferolino is working with someone from the Senate who's controlling the timing of the release of this ponencia or this decision. And now Commissioner Guanzon warns that this act could be deemed as violation to the Graft and Corrupt Practices Act. With this, and this act could also be a basis for a possible impeachment of an impeachable officer such as a commissioner of the Commission on Elections. Now, when Guanzon was asked if she will be filing an impeachment complaint against Ferolino after her retirement, Guanzon only said that she would wait for the results of the next elections. Guanzon said if Bongbong Marcos would win as president, then there is no point for her to file an impeachment complaint against Ferolino. But if Marcos loses the presidential polls, then according to her, then there's the rub, maybe for her to file an impeachment complaint. Sean?
There's the rub indeed. Now, on the lighter side of things, Greg, does Commissioner Guanzon have any post-retirement plans? What is she going to do after tomorrow?
Sean, in a FOCAP forum this afternoon, Commissioner Rowena Guanzon mentioned that after her retirement, she'll be having billboards in Metro Manila showing her continued fight against evil or bad. And apart from that, Guanzon said she'll be having more time for her hobbies such as gardening. And then apart from this, she's waiting for the decision about the post as Deputy Ombudsman for Visayas, as she is part of the shortlist for this. Sean?
All right, looking forward to seeing what Commissioner Guanzon does next after her retirement tomorrow. Thank you so much for that update. Greg Gregorio reporting to us live from Mandaluyong City. And it is a Gilas Pilipinas homecoming for Coach Chot Reyes as he takes over head coaching duties once again ahead of the FIBA World Cup Asian qualifiers. Reyes replaces Coach Tab Baldwin, who will now focus on his responsibilities to the Ateneo men's basketball team. The Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas says Reyes is the sensible choice because of his familiarity with the program. For his part, Reyes says he did not expect to be tapped as Gilas coach once again, but he does insist that he cannot turn down the opportunity. The Philippines will be hosting the first 2 windows of Group A games for the World Cup qualifiers later this month. For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Masks on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.